Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Wednesday, March 31st, 3:58 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. It's a good day. It's Wednesday. No, I'm sorry, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. Did I say Wednesday? Thursday, March 31st, 11:58. No, good God, what am I doing? It is Thursday, March 31st, 3:58 p.m. here in the Arizona desert, where I think I don't know, there just must have been a sunspot or maybe a 5G call or something. Anyway, sorry about that. Got totally knocked off track there for a second. Anyway, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Okay, EU Parliament did a vote today where they pretty much mentioned, hey, we have to do this, KYC on if you would say self-hosted wallets. So if you have a Bitcoin Core wallet or Monarch, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you have a Trezor or the other one, Ledger, one of the many popular hardware software wallets, Exodus. Then you need to KYC to do transactions, which is kind of hard to regulate. It wasn't 100%. And I'm not so sure truly that the EU has taken Bitcoin to the gallows. I think it's probably taking itself more so. So EU Parliament votes to impose KYC on private crypto wallets. In general, I read through this. It's not vague. It's just a pain in the ass. I don't really see how it's going to happen. Unhosted wallets refer to non-custodial wallets which do not rely on third parties. Example, non-custodial wallets such as, or I should say include, MetaMask, Wallet Connect, or hardware wallets like Ledger and Trezor. Well, the only thing about that is, well, I won't give it. I want to get into details here because everyone's going to look at this differently and see it differently, and depending on your skill level, why would this even be an issue? It's basically if you are in the EU and you're getting, I think it's more than like $1,000 transaction, €1,000. It seemed to me when I was looking at this different places, it looked like any transaction. And some places it does say anytime you receive over €1,000 or more in crypto from a self-hosted wallet, Coinbase will be required to report you to the authorities. Anyway, this is really nasty. And I think exactly what this is, I think you've got a lot of, in America, we have the old saying, okay, boomer. And I think this is really an okay boomer moment. Let's see if this even stands. I don't know how they would enforce it. And it's just, I won't belabor it any. It's just kind of nonsense. And here's a breaking news. This is an interesting one. Saw this over at the Bitcoin Daily Telegram chat. Army proposes to cut troop levels under 1 million for the first time in 20 years. That's kind of interesting, and we'll evolve that. We'll get into why that's why I think that's kind of interesting. So, will this even stick? I don't know. It's, like I said, kind of an okay boomer moment. I think you've got a bunch of old farts in the EU Parliament, and they have no idea to even check their own email. They probably still use Blackberries with a little clicky keyboard, and the globalists whispered in their ears, "We don't like crypto." And so they went, "What do you want us to do?" And they went, "Just ban this." And they went, "Okay." So anyway, just proof that centralized governments are just all around the world are pretty much dedicated to the Georgia Guidestones. All right, Biden's massive SPR release does not resolve upside risks. Now this is basically, it all kind of summarizes here. Where was that? I think I saw it down here. So the reserves that America has, the oil reserves, strategic oil reserves, I think they call it strategic petroleum reserves. Is that what it is? So to hedge against the oil prices going up, Biden elected to. How he can make this decision on his own, I have no idea. No president should be able to. I really believe that. I don't think any one man, even if you're president, or one woman, or one, whatever guy who's now a woman, whatever unit you are of consciousness, possibly, you should not be able to make this decision for America. So our strategic petroleum reserves, I believe that's what they're called, oil that we have on reserve in case of emergency, like aliens attack or cataclysms, CMEs, blasting half the oceans off the earth for the few people who survive. This is the idea of this is just it's not what it was meant for. Um, uh, so it all kind of comes down to where was that? It's going to be 1 million barrels, basically the equivalent of 1 million barrels per day for a specific amount of time from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Yeah. So this is nuts. And I was reading through this and I looked at a couple different articles and listened to some other commentary on different YouTube channels really who kind of were deep diving into this. And we'll see what happens. I mean, ultimately, why are we even pushing NATO in Ukraine? This is nonsense. It shouldn't even be happening. And now we're going to start to drain our oil reserves that were for emergencies to cover up like some things dirty. I mean, more and more it just seems like you got globalists trying to cover their tracks in the Ukraine, and that's why we're pushing this. So anyway, I don't like it. It's nonsense. It's just bad. So we shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't be one man's decision to do that. Putin signs to create ordering gas exports to be halted if buyers don't pay in rubles. Now, I've seen a lot of nonsense media about this today. And do I have all the links here? Let's see. Yes. If you want to get into the deep dive of this, I'm going to put this in the, I'm going to copy this right now into the Bitcoin Daily View trading chat. Boom. And I'm going to put that into the live stream here. This guy, very, very knowledgeable character, Alex Christoforo, is that his name? I have to ask him. I'm going to try to get this guy on my other podcast, Radiant Creators, to talk about some stuff. But this is very knowledgeable, and he really breaks this down. So there's been a lot of talk about Germany said no or this or that. No, the EU is going to do this because even if you want to pay in gold or euros, it's going to go into the what is the Central Bank of Russia? I forget what it's called. But anyway, there it will be converted into rubles, and then it's going to be that's what you're actually going to be purchased in. So it's sort of like they're saying, okay, fine, if our contract is in euros, give us those. But basically, you have to deposit those so they can be forex exchanged into rubles. So basically, and that gets around any sanctioning that we're trying to do, etc. So Europe, basically, and along with India, and along with also this is only really hostile countries that need to do this. That I guess Putin has decided are hostile. It's clear which ones are. But anyway, if you want to really deep dive in this, if you care, you're going to see a lot of stuff in the mainstream media about how this didn't happen and it's not happening and so said whatever. Absolutely, this is happening. So this is basically going to pump the ruble big time, and it already has today with this announcement. Well, this was announced the other day, but if you want to deep dive, if you want to really get this, spend 20 minutes. This guy is, if you care about the Ukrainian situation. This guy is someone to basically be following and watch his updates because so far he's one of the best news sources I found that is not complete bullshit. All right. So ruble versus USDT, not USDT. Well, I wish. Ruble versus USD. So if you bought rubles with US dollars, Putin pushes back against globalist aggression. I'm getting a lot of crap for that. I may change it. I might just say, Russia invades Ukraine. It would make people a lot happier. Most people don't get past this the way I put it, but we all see it differently. However you may label this, this is when Russia went into the Ukraine, and you can see the ruble really dumped. Ruble dumps against the dollar, of course, right? People knew when to buy the bottom. Oh, and they did. Don't think that with Germany, especially shrewd people, shrewd government, some of them, maybe like 8 people, they bought down here because they knew this was coming, and so they're happy to buy oil and rubles because they don't care because they bought again. They forex traded rubles. They bought rubles with euros, and so they bought down here. So they're happy right now with this exchange, in my opinion, because they're getting it on the cheap. Gold back ruble announced, about the 50% fib level there. Ruble has recovered 75% in 45 days. And then right as we hit that 786 barrier of 75% recovered, really what happens? This is like today. Ruble wicks above 200 moving average. Come on, man. Boom. It wicked above the 200 moving average on the daily. And it's back basically to previous high. This is a V-shaped recovery, Biden's massive strategic petroleum reserve releases was 1 million barrels a day was announced today. Ruble in exchange for Russian energy exports, that is happening. If you don't think so, listen to that YouTube. Seriously, it is happening. Don't listen to the mainstream bullshit. So basically, we're back where we started almost. And I'm not, I know it sounds like I'm kind of pro Russia or pro Putin. I'm none of that. I'm just, I will admit I'm anti NATO. It should have gone away when the Warsaw Pact fell apart. Okay. So this is a V. This is a V-shaped recovery. And you know what that V is? That's V for vendetta. Okay. So sorry. How's the war going? When we hit this wick, above the 200-moving average, and we got back to pre-invasion levels. You know what? Russia won, and the game is over. Okay, so space weather is very strong right now. We have another solar flare kicked off last couple hours, and it was almost another X-class flare. So if you look here, there it is. Boom, same sunspot. Boom, boom. The first X-class. It was right about here. This sunspot was here, and it was like bam. It was crazy. So we have incredible space weather coming in. You can actually see the two CMEs the other day that were from M5 solar flares. Look at that. Boom, boom. They both kind of crossed over each other, and that's the Earth right there. Bam. So I got some serious space weather that came in from two M-class flares, the CMEs from those. But now we have a X-class after that, and then another almost X-class, but it wasn't really Earth-facing. The other one kind of was Earth-facing. So we don't really have any models yet for that. We're going to see that may be a big boom that hits us in the next couple of days. So beware, be ready, Here we go. This is the KP index. It's basically radiation coming from the sun through our ionosphere, and you can see right here in the red. We were these are all 3-hour candles. We're back in the green, but for like 3, 6, 9, 12, we were in the yellow. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So for the last like 20 hours, we've been getting extreme solar weather that just eased off. Schumann resonance has been a bit insane. If you feel funny, that's why. And we may see another kick up as that X flare happens. That could get us into this X flare. A CME hits us probably in like a day or two. Like I think it's in like 24 or 48 hours at the most. We may see some 6s or some 7s. Just could be. So watch out. Be careful. Not a good day to be sunbathing. And make sure you've got a plan if your electricity goes off for a little bit or the internet doesn't work. We have in the grand slam minimum, we are hitting a very low point in our ionosphere's power, and that's fine. It's a natural 400-year cycle, so we have not had an X-class flare with the ionosphere this week, so we don't know what's going to happen. Ain't the end of the world, but just be aware. Like your GPS might like come alive, and be. And lead you to enlightenment. Like, where am I going? You're following it into the Tibetan mountains. Like, I don't know. I need to follow it. It seems to know. Anyway, 3.8 billion today. Bitcoin trading volume. That's not bad. We had a dip. It's recovering. That news seemed to really be a punch in the crypto markets groin, and it kind of doubled over like, oh, but it's shaking it off. It's just not going to the market's strong right now. Crypto, I would say that Bitcoin, especially the chart, strong, and it's taken the market with it. So it was a punch in the groin area, but you still got great volume. Market's recovering. Funny, we have a lot of difference here. This is 3.8 billion. And Bitcoin trading volume over here at cryptometer.io, we have 5.4 billion, up 14% last 24 hours. Market buys are down just slightly, and sell orders are, I guess they're up 38% for the moment. So looking at sometimes it's a little bit hard to read this thing. I think actually the market sell orders are up 38%. Anyway, it gets confusing sometimes to read that. Anyway, coin market cap, looking at everything right now, I like what I'm seeing here. Binance at 28 billion in spot trading pairs, Coinbase over 3 billion, almost 4 billion. We're looking great. Crypto.com 3.6 billion. We have so much spot trading volume going on right now. It took a dip momentarily. You can see the 7-day graph here shows a little bit of a trail off, but everybody's in the green. You can see the numbers are increasing. So the volume for Thursday is actually picking up. We got good volume. Market's looking good. For derivatives, check it out. When you're above 75 billion, that is absolute pure Lambo territory. So we definitely have longs versus shorts, basically leverage in effect. We have a tremendous amount on Binance. So, and also be careful though, when you have that much volume, I should look up and see what the, we'll look at the ratio in kind of a very superficial way at Blockchain Whispers as we go through here, but that could be a lot of longs or shorts stacked up. So be wary. I don't think Binance is going to want to carry that. They're going to probably would not be surprised if just saying possibly we could see a long or a short squeeze. We could see a small doji move to wipe some of that out. Anyway, but still, great traction going on right now. This is a wonderful thing to see. I like it. Looking really, really good. Bitcoin coming in at 45,681 right now. As you can see, the top 100 alts are a mix of green and red. We do have some green, like SNX is doing good, up 9% last 24 hours. But in general, we really got kind of a turnaround recently. Theta Fuel, I think, was negative earlier. Now it's up 8%. So we're looking good. Market will recover today as Bitcoin recovers. Let me actually refresh this just to see how it may have changed. Yeah, about the same. So, I mean, Theta Fuel, that's T Fuel. That might be one to look at. Let's look at that before we check out of here, okay? Theta Fuel. Yeah, it's going to be a Darth Maul doji. That much leverage. Nailed it, Darth Maul. It's true. There's no way that is a shit ton of longs and shorts. That's a lot. And think how much money Binance could make right now if they wrecked all that. So long 60%, shorts 39% for Bitcoin on Binance, and then for Ethereum, longs 55%, shorts 44%. So look at that. You know what's going to happen. Just it's definitely a long bias, which is going to get wrecked, in my opinion, allegedly. Okay. Anyway, I have no insider information. Looking at crude oil today, with the oil reserves, the incredibly bad idea put forth by the administration of burning up our strategic oil reserves. Oil did plummet today. Is this today or is this looking at tomorrow futures here? This is what date is that? That's so okay. So for the 31st, big dump candle, and now I guess we've already started tomorrow, and so we're seeing another dump candle. We're kind of going to visit this 50 moving average, the green one here in the daily. So we'll see how crude oil futures. These are not futures. This is just a spot price. So. Per barrel. So let's see how this rolls. It's been very volatile, of course. We'll see. Will it continue dumping or not with this 1 million barrels a day? Like I say, I've read a good number of sources and listened to a lot of different commentary on it, and I don't think that 1 million barrels a day is sustainable. So I think, and also, I'm not clear if Biden has the ability to actually just say he's going to do that. I don't quite. I listened to his, slurred speech when he talked about it, and I didn't really understand it. Is that him saying that, or is it? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I don't want to waste time. I'm not sure if that's going to stick. So it wouldn't surprise me if that whole thing gets trashed and we see crude move up again. Dollar currency, the DXY, green candle today after a red candle yesterday. Above all, almost all important moving averages, a little bit below the 20 WMA. Anyway, DXY sideways, doing fine. S&P 500 dumping ass F today. Jeez, man. So end of month, daily candle's gonna suck ass. And so anyway, it's screwed. S&P 500 big dump today. Russell 2000 big dump yesterday, and now big dump today. Gold indecisive. Actually, today was a kind of it ended up being green, but kind of a Darth Maul doji for gold. And anyway, but now it's looking like we see the April 1st candle, and it's just an indecisive red doji. Silver, red Darth Maul doji yesterday, and now starting out with for April 1st with a indecisive doji, and also it is below the 314 moving average on the daily chart. And also I will note that gold has to challenge this 20 WMA here on the daily chart. So we'll see if it can actually pull that one off. They both did a 50 moving average bounce recently, and actually gold did a 50 moving average bounce. Silver did today a 200 moving average bounce. So there's some resiliency there, but they're kind of dumping. Today's been a hard day for the market, so hang in there. If you get wrecked, well, you won't get wrecked. Just if your trades went to crap, just hang tight. I think this is going to recover rather quickly. Bitcoin versus, because who gives a crap what the EU does? what are you doing for the world anyway? You know. Anyway, Bitcoin versus USDT. That's a daily chart. As you can see, something which I think this is interesting. I like this chart's good to me. So the tangent of the MACD, daily MACD, has gone negative because of today's dumpage. So we'll see if that continues. If that continues heading that way, like tomorrow, that's not so hot. So we bounced off. We got rejected by the 200 moving average on the daily, which is fine. It's all about really what we have to look at now is, are we going to basically range and kind of bounce between the 200 and the 314? This is the 200 here, the white one. Blue one is the 314. If we range a little bit and then take back off, that's fine. What I'm going to be watching is this daily MACD. That's a big deal for me. If that looks like we're going to see a negative cross come, especially if we can't hold the support of the 314 moving average around 45,625 right now, I'm out, y'all, because that's not going to be cool. Let's look at the 2 hour. I'll tell you what, the 2 hour MACD is an incredible trend to watch. It really does tend to predict what the daily MACD tangent is going to do. So right now we have a negative 2 hour MACD. Watch this and watch the way this goes. If we can get a positive tangent on the 2 hour MACD, the daily will be cool. If it continues to get crappier, gird your loins, y'all. Just beware. This is dangerous territory right now. So, if you're a hodler, you're hodling. If you tend to, swing, well, you didn't sell the top probably because you didn't see this coming, unless you knew about the what was going to happen in the EU with the hardware wallets, private custody wallets, whatever. So let's see what happens. If we can get on the daily a 314 bounce, that'd be just fine. Losing the 200, we didn't lose it. We just didn't. We got rejected. But if we can stay above the 314, we find support there tomorrow, I'll be good to go, especially if the 2 hour MACD tangent turns positive. If it doesn't and the daily continues to look crappy, I'm hedging out, y'all. Actually, that's when you want to start looking at, and I've gotten I would be totally honest with you, I've gotten wrecked on this doing this, so I don't really I don't really endorse this, but just check it out. This is on Binance, Kraken, and KuCoin. You can do this. This is PaxG. So basically, it's buying gold. It's buying a gold-based stable coin with Bitcoin, and as you can see, while Bitcoin is dumping, it does the exact opposite. So it's making a 200 moving average bounce. It was about to go under and it bounced. So usually these charts are absolutely inverse of each other. So if things keep going crappy, this can make you a lot of money or it can wreck your ass. And I've gone both ways. It's been a lot of effort to achieve absolutely nothing. So, do it at your own risk. Bitcoin versus USDT here on the 4 hour chart. As you can see, we had a dump today, but we are recovering. We're seeing the first signs of life here, and definitely short the world. Yeah, short the world. You probably could right now and you'd win. There should be like a pessimist index. You know what I mean? It only shorts. It just anyway, call it like the how effed index or something like that. This is probably not the most elegant Fibonacci sequence right here, doing it like this. I probably should grab more data, but let's just go with that for a moment, because it does represent the last positive 2 hour 200 moving average cross and blue diamond merit badge. So we have a nice move here. We're going to go where that started, and if you watch the MACD, you can see we are actually not the MACD, the 4 hour candle. We are finding a bounce probably here on a 236. So we're kind of bouncing where we should be bouncing, and that's a good thing. And on the 4 hour chart, also we have the 200 moving average crossing over the 314 moving average recently, which that is a very, very positive sign. So really, this is a good way to look at it here. If you kind of draw I will share this. I'll just do a copy link to our chart image. I'll put this in the live chat. Anybody wants to replicate something like that. I think looking at the 4 hour move here is kind of important. We'll watch the 2 hour MACD tangent. We'll watch the daily tangent. We'll see how it kind of rolls. Also, let's look at the indicators here. The 4 hour KRI is beginning to turn up. Stochastic RSI on the 4 hours definitely, it's still trending down, but it's friggin' at the bottom. And the wave channel oscillator by Lazy Bear is about to agree. I think we're going to see these guys kind of match. These guys meet at the bottom on the 4-hour chart. You can find these both over at bitcoindailyview.com. You'll find these indicators if you need a link to those. This is not bad. We jumped on news, but it's a strong chart overall. I think we're okay. I think this MACD, God, what am I doing? Sorry, it's been a long day and it's friggin' hot in the garage. But I have to move my garage back into the house right now because I like it out here. This is my spot. I like working here. I can work on crypto. Then when I'm waiting for some trades to work, I can weld and I can do manly things. Anyway. So 4-hour chart, just look at the Fibonacci sequence. If we don't bounce here, we may go down to the 382, and that'd be 44,122. The dot 5 could be a bounce spot, 42,851. Then we still have the the 618 golden pocket, which is right with the 200 moving averages right now. So I don't think it's going to be that extreme, but you can watch for places where if it starts dumping, you'll find it's probably going to bounce at a reasonable support area, unless shit has totally hit the fan. God knows what the EU or these bunch of globalist a-holes can come up with tomorrow. Anyway, here you go. This is a 45-minute chart. And you can see the fib sequence here. We are bouncing up at 236. We're finding some support there. We really are. It's looking pretty good. We're below the 200 moving average, and the Madrid ribbons have all turned red. You can see right here that diamond down there. And these are the Madrid ribbons. You'll find those over at bitcoindailyview.com if you want to use that indicator. They're all red. That's negative. But we dumped, got below the 200 moving average on a 45-minute chart for immediate price action. We're finding support going sideways. Let's see if we get a bounce. How's the indicators look? Okay, directional index is in the red, but the KRI is moving. I'm sorry, directional index is in the red, but the ADX is going up, but we're not still dumping. So I think that's okay. We're beginning to see an ease off on this downward velocity. Jesus, squeeze indicator definitely shows some downwards velocity, but we're starting to see kind of, you can see that angle. You can see where it's starting to round, And so ultimately, S&P binary candles in the red, KRI is in the red, but it is beginning to tangent up. As you can see, it's moving towards the upside. So I think the worst this is over. Also, in the 45-minute chart, look at this. The stochastic RSI, wave channel oscillator by Lazy Bear agree that we're bottom, time to move up. I think we're fine, EU, you treacherous bastards. You ain't taking Bitcoin to that guillotine, you bunch of candlehead morons, whatever that means. You just took your own ass to the guillotine. So do everything you can to destroy the sovereignty of the nations that you supposedly rule. Anyway, guys, remember all this nonsense in the world that's going on right now. The best way to put an end to it and to have truly the best way to invest in a sci-fi beautiful future for humanity, something wonderful, where all the technology in the world right now doesn't have the dark hand of the Armonic influence in it and such like that. Seriously, every Bitcoin Satoshi you own is the most revolutionary act you can possibly do. I'm glad you're part of the peaceful revolution. We are winning. And so take care, and I will see you all tomorrow.